If there is one tea that I wish everybody should try, will be this tea. This is one of my all-time favorite tea. I remember first time I had this tea, it totally opened the world of tea, of what could possibly a good, amazing tea taste like. And at that time, I have no idea what is good tea could be, what is good tea. I know nothing about tea. I remember having High Mountain Oolong for the first time, and then immediately, wait, where have this been all my life? Because if I have been introduced to this kind of tea earlier, it might pique my interest to jump into deeper about what is premium tea. But the very first tea that I thought it was really, really special was High Mountain Oolong. And two of the High Mountain Oolong that I'm super proud was the Alishan and the Yushan. I probably talk about how much I love Taiwanese High Mountain Oolong in the past so many of my video, right? And I usually use a Gaiwan, but this time I'm going to use a special Yixing teapot that I got recently from my China trip, right? And the reason why I picked this teapot is because if you look at the leaf of Taiwanese tea, they normally roll into like a tight bowl, and it's just very easy to put into this teapot. And it's also the goal is for any premium tea is for you to be able to extract as much as flavor as possible, as quickly as possible. So if your teapot is too big, you can't extract the flavor quick enough. So that's why you want it just the right size. And also when you want to pour it out, the pour has to be really smooth. And I've been seasoning this teapot only with High Mountain Oolong, and also only with the highest quality High Mountain Oolong. So even though this is not technically a new tea, this is from the original farm that I've been getting from, but this is the first time I'm actually using a seasoned teapot for this. And this is a new harvest, a spring harvest. And so how do we do this? First you heat it up with this, and just because this is already seasoned, so it doesn't really have that kind of earthy clay smell, immediately it will just have this like sweet corn fragrance that is just really, really soothing and calming. All right, without wasting too much of the flavor, I basically just put hot water and then pour it out immediately. And then as you can see, the pour are very, very nice. And this is what we call the rinse, still barely open up. Now you need hot boiling water. I put like about 205 or like 95 degrees Celsius. If you can get into 100, you can do that too, right? If you do it at 100 degree or 212, you can turn off the kettle and use the tire temperature for the first infusion, and then just kind of like slowly cool down the water temperature from the kettle, and slowly I guess as it cooled down, you can use that lower temperature for the second infusions. By doing it this technique, even though it might not be as quickly as you want it to, but this teapot will help you because it's smaller, it can extract more flavor. But by doing that, you can get a variety of different flavor because you're starting with really high temperature, and then by the second infusion, usually depending on how long you wait, hopefully you don't wait too long, but because it also is a smaller amount, you don't have to wait too long. But I don't know if you see where I'm getting into. By the second infusion, the temperature should drop by like 5 to 10 degree, and the flavor tend to be sweeter when it's lower temperature. But it's still going to be very complex because of the size of this teapot. This is something that Gaiwan could never do, right? And this is all you need, especially if you're drinking alone. You can actually drink for 2 person here. But very, very good oolong, doesn't really get bitter. I forgot to show you, but the leaf is actually already opened up. And this is the second infusion, probably dropped by 5 degrees because I turned off my kettle. And as you can see, the water flow very nicely, and the leaf is fully open already. So that shows you how quickly the leaf open when you use the right teapot, right? And I don't want to wait too long, so again, I haven't turned on my kettle, and I'm just gonna pour it out, pour the hot water again. And while I'm slowly enjoying this, and depending on who you're drinking with, some people do not like to combine multiple infusion into one pitcher. I personally think it's just add complexity, so I don't mind doing that. So I'm just gonna use this and then add this into this infusion and then enjoy it the way it is. Ooh. What I like about really good high mountain oolong, it expands so quickly without really waiting. As soon as it's coming into your mouth, it just like immediately exploded. It's like an explosion of different flavor, smell, and even it has this cooling sensation. Like you don't need to be an expert to appreciate what is a good Taiwanese oolong is. See, I think this is the third infusions. You see, it's important for you to have a good teapot, and often you should test your teapot. Like you can see there's some liquid coming out, but for me, that's not as important as how much the water can come out, because if the teapot wasn't good, often when the leaf open up, it's going to clog this area where the water won't come out. So sometimes it's not just about the look. You don't want the kind of teapot where you put a lot of tea and then the water just kind of like come out very slowly. You don't want that. That means the design wasn't really well designed. As you can see, it's just fully expanded, but yet when I put the liquid and pour it out, there was no slowing down. The water come out just the way it should be. There's really not that many tea out there that can like immediately have this sensation like the way high mountain oolong is. These Yushan high mountain oolong are very unique. They only harvest twice a year, spring and winter. This is the spring harvest. The winter harvest is not here yet. And every year, because this is organic, every year we rely a lot on the weather. And Taiwanese tea economy, I feel like this is just personal observation. I feel like in recent years, they rely a lot on outside Taiwan to sell their premium Taiwanese tea. For that reason, I feel like it's getting harder and harder trying to find a good premium Taiwanese tea. And more Taiwanese tea are machine picked. Fortunately, this is still hand picked. Not only is hand picked, it's still organic, which is the most important thing. And sometimes Taiwanese high mountain oolong, the most important trait that they try to sell to a lot of people are the way how it feels when you drink it. It has this aroma of high mountain, but it's not just about the aroma of high mountain. For me, the way how it open up your everything, your sinus, your throat, and your whole energy, your whole body energy just completely brighten up. And I'm not talking about caffeine. It has this positive energy that makes you just feel very happy. And that's what Taiwanese tea is so unique. Now, sometimes some of those Taiwanese oolong that is high mountain, they use a lot of pesticides, which a lot of them now does use pesticides because, like I said, it's getting hard trying to cut costs, and then selling it to a premium tea is getting more and more difficult internally. So they have to cut corner by machine pick and introduce a lot of pesticides so they can cut down the cost and then make enough profit. And younger generation of farmers are start leaving the family business. They no longer want to continue the same business again. So the only way they can make money, either find a way to sell outside Taiwan, mainly China and Europe, or they cut corner and put those kind of like a cheap quality one in nice packaging. And it seems like that has been working very well. So that's why it's a little bit sad, but hopefully it's not forever. So I don't know when I'm gonna revisit Taiwan again, hopefully soon, because I want to see if things has changed. But for now, I'm very happy that I have this really special Jade Mountain Oolong. And another cool thing about using this kind of teapot, You can extend the life of your oolong from 6 times to like easily 9 to 10 times, right? And the water temperature right now is keep cooling down, so I'm just gonna pour the hot water here. As you make more and more tea, it becomes part of you, and you don't even have a timer in you, and you just kind of know. Even though I haven't really finished this, but I naturally have this instinct. By the time I finish this, or like at least by the time I'm almost finished, I feel like the tea should be ready to be poured out. Because remember, the temperature has just kept going lower and lower, which means I have to brew it longer and longer and longer. If you don't have a small teapot, I do recommend, especially for a lot of Taiwanese tea. It does makes the tea taste so much more brighter, so much more thicker. This tea is going to taste good regardless if you use a gaiwan. In the past video, I'm probably using a gaiwan and it tastes totally fine. But with a teapot like this, especially that's been seasoned, it just brings out a little extra layer and a little extra life to it. So this is the third infusion. I love how floral it is. I don't actually remember being this floral. It's probably part of the reason is probably because I use a lot of like alisan in this pot, and the flower, I've never remember that the yishan becoming this floral. And there is not even a hint of dryness in this tea. It's just very, very, very nice, very smooth, lots of really nice texture. Not the heaviest texture, but it's just a right amount of heaviness. It's just the right amount of weight. There's no bitterness. The sweetness is like just a little bit sweetness, but it's just enough to make you addicted about it. The best is this part though. It's so healing kind of feel. It feels like it's just this energy of like if you just went to the high mountain and then just breathe. If you can just bottle up the aroma of high mountain and then drink that bottle, that's how it feels. I know it's kind of weird, but it's like a spring air in a bottle that you can somehow, if you can drink them, that's how it feels here. But anyway, this tea is available on the website. This is our High Mountain Yushan Oolong. This is the new spring harvest, which is, I feel, a little bit more floral than I can remember. The energy is amazing. The sweetness is amazing. Overall, it's just a very, very good High Mountain Taiwanese Oolong. If you want to introduce somebody for the first time what is premium tea, you can't go wrong with this one. Again, if you have any question, feel free to message me in a comment. Other than that, I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.